Hey guys, I've been meaning to make this video for a while now. Finally getting the opportunity to now. There have been a lot of changes to our competition, very good changes. Again, it's our first season doing this. We want it to be a year-to-year thing. And how we're going to do that is we're going to keep getting better over time and taking feedback and what have you, right? But there's been a lot of important changes, right? From now on, from a moderation standpoint, my mods are overworked. And if any of you guys are interested in supporting the document, please feel you're more than welcome to help out. I gift you guys sub every month for people who are actively updating the tracker, such as Juju, right? But all this is a lot of work. So starting out, our first and most important change is you need to post the rarity of the Pokemon you catch. Very self-explanatory. There are hundreds of these things posted every day, and people alone are posting multiple shinies. So to eliminate the administrative burden to a large extent, this was just a very, very necessary change. So all it's going to require for you is you actually read the rules. You give a blanket, like what you think it's scored. It's okay to be have a couple errors in there, but it will make everybody life a lot easier, right? Especially the moderators, because they're doing this shit borderline for free. They're doing it for Twitch subs, right? And that's not that much at the end of the day for the amount of work they give me. Secondly, right? If you look at the leaders, I am under the impression, right, that the Safari as a whole is overtuned, but I do like the idea of the Safari being what's overpowered, because, well, going to the Safari is something most people don't want to do, and even Danny, who has all these points, have had a couple shinies run from him. But where the Safari becomes stupid to me is when you start having scores of 65 and other ridiculously high scores, right? So we can agree that Shuckle, Safari Kangaskhan, some of the best mons that you can physically get. But are they better than an Alpha or a Legendary? Hell no, they're not. So we are hard capping Safari mons and every mon that isn't a Legendary, with the exception of Beldum, at maximum of 40 points. Simply because it is stupid to have somebody actually catch a shiny Zapdos and then somebody catches a Safari Kangaskhan and we say, well, that's worth 15 more points than Zapdos. That doesn't make any sense, right? Additionally, what you're noticing is people who are doing nothing but horde encountering, like Miss Samus has 36 points and is barely in the top 20 despite having more shinies than anybody by a large margin. And I'm starting to think that they weren't tuned correctly, right? Like in terms of disparity. A lot of people have been vocal, and I've heard it multiple times. They're like, Minish, why do we get our points halved if we are single encountering and we get a lure encounter? Firstly, the double encounter for lures is like 1 every 3, so it's kind of inconsequential in terms of your probability of when you actually do encounter a shiny of your points getting halved. But I like the idea of it simply because the points are just so much higher, right? There's already the potential for a 20-point shiny, 40-point if you get secret, right? Versus somebody who's just horde encountering is going to be hard capped at 1 point back in the day. So what we have done to offset this to a large extent is we've raised the point totals to 1.5 and 2.5 respectively. Additionally, you don't have to watch the stream. You don't even have to participate in my content. This is a tournament to determine the best shiny hunter, right? And I put my money there. That is the primary purpose and has always been. So rather than, watch Minish's stream for an additional point, another buff that I'm indirectly giving to the horde encounters is if you record your reaction, you'll see that you get an additional point, right? So, and that's kind of substantial, especially when you are, in theory, getting a lot more shinies via the horde encounters. But again, revisiting, looping back around, why do we have shiny points for single encounters, right? Like, some of these are rare, and then they're getting, like, nothing, right? A single encounters, like, it's pretty self-explanatory when you consider the fact that almost everybody who's been horde encountering, even with the buff, are not competitive with Danny, No, right? And Cluth, right? So if you have an issue, and then I've heard we've talked to Danny about the idea of standardizing the points more, but I don't like the idea of nerfing the Tricos and the slack offs and all these other awesome rare shinies, because at the end of the day, the reason we made this tournament the way it is a single encounter Pidgey is pathetic in comparison to a single encounter Trico. A lot of competitions have been doing is they don't value the rare encounters. And I've heard the argument that, it's RNG. It's RNG. It's more RNG focused when you make it so a double encounter halves points and it's punishing people. Well, whoever gets the most, to that I'd say, whoever gets the most encounters isn't the best shiny hunter. The entire aspect and like the entire concept of shiny hunting is RNG. Like, it's predominantly RNG just at a base level. So to make the argument that this is RNG and it's not indicative of actual shiny hunting skill, you're fucking stupid. I'm just gonna come out and say, well, that's a stupid fucking argument, right? Because whoever gets a shiny Charmander should get more points than whoever gets a Roselia, right? I'm willing to workshop certain things. I very, very much like where we currently have the point system. I think this is a tremendous upgrade where you can potentially get 3.5 points for a horde encounter. I think that's fair. And additionally, it's not like you're taking it away from the singles. And then singles, again, you're getting that secret shiny chance. You're getting potentially the big dick lure encounter or the rare encounter to get your 20 pointer, right? And then I think in terms of balancing, like 3.5, so if you're getting like, we'll just say 5 hordes. If you're getting 5 hordes, you need about 5 of them to equate to an actual rare encounter. I think in terms of balance, that's pretty good. Additionally, 40 points for the legendaries, and if God willing somebody actually catches an alpha shiny, we've been waiting on one all tournament, it hasn't happened. We've had 6 Tricos, but we haven't had a single alpha shiny, so I'm hopeful that somebody actually gets one of those. That'd be a 40 pointer, and if by some god-given miracle it manages to be secret shiny, I'll gladly give you the 80 points. Same with Zapdos, same with everybody else. I want to see more participation across the board, and I think a way we do it is making people feel like their time isn't wasted as much as it has been. Oh, there's barrels. But yeah, people getting singles should be getting 1.5 in my opinion. I like it a lot better than 1. And if you have any issues or you have any suggestions, you say, Minish, you're full of shit. Getting your points halved 1/3 of the time when you're single encountering is bullshit. I mean, yeah, I get it. Abra's 10 points, I get it. Well, we'll see. If I'm wrong and everybody else disagrees with me, I'll revisit the idea. But I think this is a healthy way to keep the 20-point bounties on like Bulbasaurs and stuff without putting it at the point of like breaking in terms of balance, right? Because I don't want to have people who are doing horde encounters to feel like they're wasting their time, to feel like they can't place in the top 20, right? And I don't want people who have success in the Safari Zone to be just a monolithic score that no one can come even close to, right? So I think the hard cap at 40 points is really good. I think allowing everybody to give me your reaction material for montages and stuff is also a really good way, right? Because I can use this content, and at the end of the day, that's kind of what I wanted anyways, to make the ultimate montage at the end of this whenever I get the time. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think. This is the current scoring for anyone who hasn't been paying attention this whole video. I am no longer in first place, but we'll do our best to change that in this upcoming 7-day live stream. All right, see you guys for those who tune in. Bye.